श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य, eternal, arudha, situated in samadhitvat, from trance, paravritta, freed from guna, of the modes of material nature, brahma, illusion, nasasmar, she did not remember, tada, then, atmanam, her material body, swapne, in a dream, drishtam, seen, eva, just as utathita, one who has arisen. Translation. Situated in eternal trance and freed from illusion impelled by the modes of material nature, she forgot her material body, just as one forgets his different bodies in a dream. Purpose. A great Vaishnava said that he who has no remembrance of his body is not bound to material existence. As long as we are conscious of our bodily existence, it is to be understood that we are living conditionally under the three modes of material nature. When one forgets his material, when one forgets his bodily existence, his conditional material life is over. This forgetfulness is actually possible when we engage our senses in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In the conditional state, one engages his senses as a member of a family or as a member of society or a country. But when one forgets all such membership in material circumstances and realizes that he is an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord, that is actual forgetfulness of material existence. This forgetfulness actually occurs when one renders service unto the Lord. A devotee no longer works with his body for sense gratification with family, society, country, humanity, and so on. He simply works for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That is perfect Krishna consciousness. A devotee always merges in the transcendental happiness, and therefore he has no experience of material distress. This transcendental happiness is called eternal bliss. According to the opinion of devotees, constant remembrance of the Supreme Lord is called samadhi or trance. If one is constantly in trance, there is no possibility of his being attacked or even touched by the modes of material nature. As soon as one is freed from the contamination of three material modes, he no longer has to take birth to transmigrate from one form to another in this material world. We'll do the Mangalachanam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapadakamala Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुवश्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Also like to pay my humble obeisances to His Grace Madhupati Prabhu for engaging me in this seva so that I can do some Shastra reading which uh, engages my heart, my body into the devotional service of the Lord. Also, I wish you all uh, very happy uh, New Year as per the English calendar we follow. I pray to the Supreme Lord that He gives you happiness, health, joy, and above all, His love for His seva and love for His devotional service. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, this wonderful pastime uh, of the discussion between a mother and a child, but they are not the ordinary mother and the child. Uh, Mother is Devahuti, um, who is a daughter of Swayambhuva Manu and wife of Kardama Muni and the mother of Kapil Dev. And Lord Kapil is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, who is giving her uh, this knowledge on Sankhya philosophy. Uh, Mother Devahuti was so much attached in the service of his wonderful husband, Kardama Muni, that she had become very thin and she did not care about her bodily uh, comfort, uh, what to speak of, the decorating her body, taking care, applying different, ornaments. And no, she did not. She was totally engaged in the service of her husband. And after after a point when her husband he decided that okay, now it's time. Uh, I'm done with the family life and I want to depart and take sannyas. She um, requested him that I did not have uh, any family life enjoyments or experiences, and now you are going, and after you, who is going to take care of me? And as per Vedic system, uh, a woman should always be protected. Uh, at birth, she is protected by the father. Then, uh, after marriage, she is protected by husband. And then, after after husband's departure, either from this world or the ashram, then she is taken care of, protected by the son. So Kardama Muni created this wonderful flying palace. And then, with his yogic power, he produced uh, wonderful damsels who took care of, who decorated and took care of Mother Devahuti. And they enjoyed for many years, hundreds of years, they enjoyed the family life. And Kardama Muni produced 9 wonderful daughters from Mother Devahuti. And then when he was about to leave, and at that time, Mother Devahuti again requested that where is the son? And then they produced wonderful son, uh, Kapil, Lord Kapil, who is none other than Supreme Personality of God. After that, Kardam Muni has left, and now Mother Devahuti is under the protection of his wonderful son. And now the son is also preparing to leave. He has imparted all the knowledge of the Sankhya philosophy and is about to leave the house. And in here, in fact, he has left. So by the time of this verse, he has Kapil Muni, Lord Kapil has already left the home, and now Mother Devahuti is grieving, uh, and she is in separation mode of separation, and she is acting like she has lost all the conception of her material body. That's all. She forgot her material body, just as one forgets his bodies in a dream. So that means she has achieved this samadhi stage of yoga process. And that's what Srila Prabhupada describes, and then other acharyas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Uh, They have written commentaries where they are saying that she's into this samadhi stage, and in that samadhi stage, one acts like bewildered, has no conception of this body. Uh, and bewilderment is described as of two types. One is a material bewilderment, and the other is a spiritual bewilderment. So Prabhupada here describes in the purport that what is the material bewilderment look like. Material bewilderment is a conditional state in which one is engaging all their senses in the expansions of this body. That, okay, this is my country, this is my race, this is uh, my family, this is my friends, and then uh, these are my kids, this is my house, these are my properties, my car, and everything, all the energy is used in the maintenance and the service of these bodily extensions. That's what material bewilderment looks like. Now, what is the result of this material bewilderment? Well, the first and the foremost is that one is uh, gaining a lot of karmic reactions. And because of that karmic reaction, you are entangled into this uh, concept of birth and death. And with that concept of birth and death comes naturally the four problems of the this body: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth, old age, disease, and death. All of them very, very painful. Prabhupada describes these as material pangs. Pangs is a sharp and sudden pain. So that's what is these bodily conceptions of or the material bewilderment is bringing one to. There's also forgetfulness in that. The forgetfulness is of the real identity, that who am I? And even after seeing so many examples around us and then going through the experiences, we are still into that. We are still entangled into that thing. We are seeing that, okay, the same thing is bringing me a lot of pain. Everything which we see as in relationship with this body brings pain. It brings fleeting joy, For some time, we feel happy about it, but right after that, there is uh, pain. And that's because this material nature is designed like that. This dual nature is there. The same thing which gives you pleasure gives you pain. There's so many examples. One example can be that, okay, you buy a new car, now you're very happy about it, that, oh yes, now I'm going to enjoy this car. And then comes the car payment, then comes the insurance payment, then comes the maintenance payment of the vehicle. Then comes this fear of, oh, somebody might damage my car, might steal my car, might make it dirty. And then so that nature of the material nature is kicking in, and it is it give a fleeting pleasure, but at the same time now giving constant pain. uh, Similarly, there is bewilderment at the spiritual level as well. That's called samadhi. Uh, Now, the thing is that this bewilderment, the funny thing is that this bewilderment is actually um, can be observed only from the other position. Like somebody who is materially bewildered will not observe that I am I'm in this state of illusion. It's only observed by those who are spiritually bewildered. That oh yes, this person is materially bewildered. Now, from the spiritual platform, when you look at somebody who is bewildered in material states, you know the problems of it. But but those who are in the material bewilderment and they see somebody who is spiritually bewildered will not know the pros, not know the benefits, will not know what are the uh, advantages of it. But what are the advantages of being materially bewildered? Uh, then one has identified the real Swarup, is gonna take, so all the negatives of the material bewilderment are becoming, eradicated. So uh, you you're freed from the four problems of this life or this body. There is no more birth, death, old age, or disease. Uh, you are situated in your real position, that is, you know, Jiyara Sarup Hoy, Krishna Nitya Das. So you're into that servant relationship. You're at the position of a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Um, and then you are no more in a situation where um, you're dealing with these material pangs or the problems. Your position is a spiritual bliss, because there is that's the position of this atma. That's the real position of this soul. Uh, So we see this in the second paragraph Prabhupada is mentioning. This forgetfulness actually occurs when one renders service unto the Lord. So he's giving the recipe that how one achieves uh, this stage of samadhi. Okay. And another point which I wanted to make was that how one knows that okay, you were bewildered, okay, spiritually bewildered. Um, because you have lost all the uh, you have forgotten this material concept. We see that there is a story of Jada Bharat, who is acting like a madman, uh, from the material point of view. Internally, he is situated in the blissful position. Here also, we see that Mother Devahuti, she has forgotten her bodily concept. So, you see, her body was being taken care of by the spiritual damsels created by her husband Kardama Muni, which we discussed at the beginning. That beautiful, beautiful damsels were created, hundreds and thousands of them, and they were serving her. But she had um, forgotten about her bodily concepts. She's um, in the next verse, it is mentioned, because she was always absorbed in the thoughts of the supreme personality of Godhead. She was not aware that sometimes her hair was loosened or her garments were disarrayed. She's not no more um, acting like she was the princess. She's daughter of Swayambhu Manu. No, she has uh, forgotten that part, and then she's not trying to look her best, because her heart is um, devoted to the service of the Supreme Lord. That's one. Second point, which is mentioned or which comes, is that she is into this feeling this intense separation from her uh, wonderful son, Kapil Muni. And here, her this mode of separation is actually described as you know there are five types of servitorship, or the five types of relationship one may have with the Supreme Lord, as you all know, called Shanta, then Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Um, where the first one, Shanta, is being neutral, not but from Dasya on, it's actual servitorship, where you are identifying yourself in the Dasya Bhava as servant of the Lord. Then in the Sakhya, you are still identifying yourself as a servant, but in the form of a friend. You're serving the Lord in the form of a friend. Then comes Vatsalya, where you're serving the Lord as parent. And then Madhurya, where you're serving the Lord as a form of a beloved. Now, this Vatsalya is very, very important to understand. Um, see if I can put it down. Yeah. Uh, it is mentioned that Mother Devahuti's loss of her son, she agreed to at the loss of her son, just as a cow is affected when her calf dies. It's very, very intense. A cow just cannot get over the loss of her calf. It's so intense. Said that the example given here is that Devahuti became just like a cow who has lost her calf. A cow bereft of her calf cries day and night. Similarly, Devahuti was aggrieved, and she always cried and requested her friends and relatives, please bring my son home so that I may live, otherwise I shall die. She's so much attached to her son Kapil Muni. And because Kapil Muni is supreme personality of Godhead, this attachment is actually taking her to the stage of Samadhi. And it is later on mentioned that Prabhupada mentions in the purport that at the end of it, she actually gets Vaikuntha Loka, which is called Kapila Vaikuntha. So now actually this Vatsalya is also important. Um, Here Prabhupada explains that no, this is Burijan Burijan Prabhu is actually explaining this point, that it is interesting to note that the culmination of Devahuti having heard Kapila Muni's teachings on bhakti mixed with Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga was that she simply became fully absorbed in love for her son, the personality of God. Srila Jiva Goswami has commented on text 21 in Anucheda 84 of Priti Sandarbha. The quality of a devotee's love for the Lord in which he wishes to give the Lord his mercy and things. The Lord is my son is called Vatsalya. The word Vatsalya is derived from the word Vatsa, that means calf. As a cow is affectionate toward her calf, so parents may be affectionate toward their children and hug them, holding them to their chest. This kind of love filled relationship is called Vatsalya or parental love. So the point here is that um, the love for a a calf, by a cow is so intense that this rasa is called Vatsalya. And Mother Devahuti is feeling that kind of love towards Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Kapila, who happens to be uh, her son. And she's fortunate that her son is actually a Supreme Personality of Godhead. But one can get Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son. Just that you have to develop this quality of uh, uh, the quality of a devotee, so that you can uh, get the Supreme Personality of Godhead as your son. So these are the points which I wanted to highlight. Almost hitting the time that in this stage, we are reaching towards the end of this wonderful pastime and the teachings of Lord Kapila, where he has described through Sankhya Yoga uh, that the process of devotional service. And another thing which is important is that Prabhupada actually mentions that there is only one way to identify if one has achieved this stage of samadhi. That is, that how much one is engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of God. That's the only way to measure. All the other measurements uh, can be faulty. So that's for our internal assessment as well. So a lot of, this is the time to take new resolutions, and um, so please uh, bless me. I seek your blessing, that you bless me so that I can engage myself in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. I would request all of you also to take that up as the center of your resolution. With that, I would like to stop here and over to Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Akhilesh Krishna. We would like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We would like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
China Shunga, Jaina Shunga, Jaina Shunga, Paladesha, Jaya Padma, Maka Padma, Bengam,
Ugravedam,
Mahavishnu,
Ugravedam,
Santam,
Mahavishnu, Jalantam,
Sanam,
Sarvatomukham,
Sanam, Bhadram, Nitya,
Narsingham,
Vaskeva,
Vishnam, Bhadram, Mrityu, Namami.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai,
Jai,
Paladam ki jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our Humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas,
Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripasindhavavecha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnava
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Vaishnavinda ki
Ki
jai,
jai,
Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai,
ki
Srimad
jai,
Prabhupada ki jai,
jai.
Gaur Premanande,
Hari 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 Bol. Thank you everybody. Hari
Hare
Bol. Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Bol.
Thank you, everyone. Hare